Tom from the Metalhead Show here at Sonisphere 2014 with Amos of Tesseract. How's it going, Amos?
Hey man, I'm good. How you doing?
Doing great, cheers. You just played Sonisphere 2014?
Yeah.
First show back with Dan, how was it?
That was awesome. It really honestly feels like we've just picked up where we left off a few years back. In fact, one of the last show in the UK was at Sonisphere in one of the tents. So it's fantastic to play the tent with Dan and then 3 or 4 years later come back and play the main stage. You know, just fantastic. It just really felt comfortable.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky from that respect.
Awesome. So Ash has left the band. Can you tell us a little bit about the reasons behind this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's no acrimony there. It wasn't working for him, it wasn't working for us. So rather than take it to an extreme where things get bad, we thought now's the time to split. And like I say, we're just very lucky that we kept very good contact and close contact with Dan, and he has always been a friend. So it was the right time for him to turn around and say, all right, well, you know, I can do this, guys. Ash is still doing his thing, but his thing is just different to what Tesseract is, which is fair, you know, because he was joining something that was already established, trying to fit his square peg into our round hole. You know, and after doing, we've done a few hundred shows with him, and actually more shows with him than we did with Dan. It just was getting to the point where he wasn't happy, so got to move on, otherwise, you know, things are going to get bad. And rather than the band break or anything like that, we thought, all right, well, let's give it a go with Dan. And like I say, we're just so lucky that he's been able to just... Yesterday was his first rehearsal.
Really?
Yeah, so about 4 p.m. he turned up, and we're fortunate enough to be able to just drop right in, and as if nothing had changed.
Pretty rock and roll.
Yeah, pretty lucky. You know,
I'd say that.
Yeah, I mean, we've all improved quite a lot as well.
Okay.
So, and the stage rig we're using is very easy for a vocalist to work with. So it just meant that it was almost really, like I say, just picking up. It's fantastic that we're all so relaxed and chilled with each other. It's almost as if we've been on tour for the last 6 months together. Everyone's just comfortable, and after today's show we couldn't be happier for what the future holds.
Awesome. So you're saying that you get comfortable on stage. How do you think it's going to be when you go into the studio to record your new album?
Well, this is the thing, we're always very lucky in our the chemistry between all of us just works. So I wouldn't expect any problems. I mean, we've done some demos already, you know.
Oh, really?
So we've got a few things up and running, and I think it's slightly different because we've matured a little, we've changed a little, just grown up a bit, but it's still Tesseract. And I reckon fans will find it quite easy to accept.
So how would you compare it to Altered State and Of Matter then, these new demos? Should we expect it to sound more a bit like Altered State, or...?
No, well, we're thinking about releasing one track in a few months that is very much in the same vein as Altered State, but then the rest of the stuff is Tesseract, but it has moved on quite a bit. We know what works live now, and we know what is fun to play, so you kind of move towards that angle rather than just, this works in the studio. You know, you really have to pay attention to what is going to work in a concert scenario. So we've learnt a lot, and we're trying to apply that, but I wouldn't expect it to be too different. You know, people will still recognise it, especially because it's got Dan on it. You know, it's not going to be a different voice, and because the voice is very much the key to most people. That, like, it's the key to the music. If the voice is totally different, it's a different band. So it'll be quite familiar, but Dan's changed. You know, the things that he does are different. He basically wants to have a lot more fun on stage, as do we, so it'll be definitely more exciting from audience point of view, but maybe not as heavy as people might expect in terms of vocals. We're not going to, because we've never been that keen on screaming, so we'll probably move away from that, but as a result, maybe some people might think it's not as heavy, but the music will probably be a bit heavier. Just it's like a contrast, you know, if the soaring clean vocals and then the dirty heavy groove behind it. So hopefully people enjoy it.
Looking forward to it. Thanks so much for speaking to us. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, dude. And you.